Hello and welcome to the Artist Behind the Music Holiday Edition. Today we have Kayla Williams joining us from Red Deer, Alberta.
kind of Red Deer, kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, that's right. You're not in Red Deer anymore. Right. You're out in
but pretty close.
Close enough. That was like the major landmark that I could
That's true.
throw out for people. Welcome. Happy holidays.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Like
Christmas season.
Festive.
Sparkles. Shine. You're very sparkly as usual, and I love it.
That's right. Just brings that extra joy to my life. Even when I cry, I think I just cry sparkles. And sweat. I always say that when I'm exercising. I'm just sparkling.
I wish that was true. That would be wicked.
Right. Oh, so fun. So fun. Well, thanks for joining me. I'm excited to chat a little bit more about what you're doing, what you've done, and what got you into music. So let's just dive way back and chat about what got you started into becoming a musician.
I mean, I've always wanted to do it. There hasn't been another question since I was like 3. I was saying the answer to the question, what do you want to be when you grow up, was a singer, and that just never changed. And I never made a plan B. It was just there. So I've been singing forever. I don't know. I mean, I think I was inspired as a child by like the Mini Pops, if you remember them. They were like
Mini Pops.
Yeah, do you remember Mini Pops? It was like the little like kids that would do covers of all the main songs, and there was like them VHS. Yeah, there was like
kids hear that.
It was basically like kids that covered the mainstream artists, right? So there was like VHS of them like dancing, doing like these little song like music videos, and I was like, that's me. I'm gonna be that kid, and I was just obsessed. So that, and then when Spice Girls came, that rocked my world. I was very inspired. Then in my teens, it was the Beach Boys, and I got ridiculously obsessed. And just all these different little musical pieces along the way. There's not one thing. I didn't come from a musical family. None of my family is musical whatsoever. So who knows where it all sparked from, but it's just in my bones.
Fun. Who was your favorite Spice Girl? Who did you most relate
Emma, Baby Spice.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have guessed something different for you, but
yeah. Then Ginger.
Okay, right, that's who I thought for going after.
But I love like the cute, like Emma was so cute and blonde, and the pigtails, and I don't know. I was just like, I was a kid, so it was more cutesy, I guess.
Totally. I love it.
Who was yours?
It was a tie between Ginger and Posh.
I thought Posh was too stuck up.
I know. Yeah, but I liked her.
But voice. Now I'm like, oh, she's just glamorous.
Great shoes.
Yeah, that's true. And now she's got a great makeup line, and
right? So many things. If I could just merge all the Spice Girls into one,
yeah,
that would be
they're a powerhouse. I mean, that was like girl power before we were even conscious, really. Now it's such a big theme in my life, but maybe it had more of an impact than I realized.
Absolutely, yeah. Maybe it was just instilled in us at a young age. Yeah. We got to carry it forward into today's age.
Yeah.
So you just released a new single, Stealing from My Youth. Tell us
about
that song and the inspiration behind it and kind of the journey to recording it.
So I had about a month at the beginning of the pandemic that I was dead on music. I didn't do a thing. I didn't sing. I didn't play. I was like very upset at the time. And I didn't know where music was going. I was like, what a time to be a musician in a pandemic. At the time, we didn't know, the course of events. So I was very concerned. Then after about a month, I finally sat down, and that's the song I wrote. And so for me, it's very much a ballad of the pandemic times and my feelings towards everything. So it felt like the pandemic was taking from my youth, taking days where I couldn't be with people and do the things I want to do. And, I'm like, I'm still young. I got things to do. I don't want to be sitting inside. So I still kind of feel that way, but obviously safety is important and all those things. But my summer, of course, totally transformed into being a ton of live shows outside, distance live shows. So it ended up being a great switch from where this song originated. And I had just a ton of feelings about being away from everybody, because I'm such a social creature. I'm an extrovert of all extroverts, and I take energy when I'm with people. Like, that's where I get it. And being alone for too long is, like, for me, very not good.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people like you out there.
Yeah. Well, that's that's good to know, because I don't know, I feel like I'm surrounded by introverts that love their alone time, and I'm like, why don't you want to talk to me constantly and give me attention? But yeah, that's kind of where the song was birthed. And then I ended up just reaching out to Spencer again through CMI, which we both attended. We met different producers. I met him there and had not worked with him before, so I was just threw it out and said, here's what I got as an idea, because I had a demo, and he's like, I love it, super like old school 70s vibes, that's right up my alley. And honestly, because of the pandemic, it ended up being a little bit more affordable for me to work with him, and so that was a blessing. Like, there's a lot of silver linings to this whole thing. So having that experience, and we kind of worked back and forth distantly, doing all the recording first, and then in August I went and had one day there in the studio, which was fabulous and fun. And then the reason I decided to release it in October was because the minute they said we can have a live show, like indoors, I was like, book it. I want a real live show. I want people there. And I really looked out, because we did this October 23rd. The song was released. I was in Bose in Red Deer. It was 170-ish people. It sounds like a lot, but they were all very distant tables. It's a huge venue of like normally like 450. So we had everything separated. I have great video from it. I can't wait. I've seen it. I'm so excited. I was like the best show. It just filled me right up. So many people, so much love. And then now I feel like that's going to be slipping away a little bit more. So I am very grateful to have had a sold out release show. That's crazy town in a pandemic. So the whole journey was quite the thing. And yeah, it's very 70s inspired. I'm very in that's who I am as a person. I love the oldies. So
you are a 70s inspired human.
Yeah.
I mean, not 70s music, actually.
Yeah. A New Year's party where we forced you to listen to disco.
Yeah, you know what? That playlist came on quite a few times after that this year.
Oh, that's fabulous. I love it.
That's so fun. So you did a lot of the production on your end as well. How did you learn how to do that?
So I've probably been doing this like recording stuff for probably 10 years now. Not saying I'm great, but I'm better than when I started. And I basically just started with Pro Tools and fiddled around until I figured it out. And then now recently I've been working with the program called Reason. So very synth based. Like there's a lot of options within the program to like, you know, like when you have MIDI files, you can make it into anything, make one sample into any sound. So it has like thousands of options. You can kind of customize every single thing. And I'm such a like keyboardy synthy person. So it was really fun to play with this program. And yeah, I just kind of created a demo, which was really, a lot of the elements still ended up on the song that was released. So the keys and the drums, basically he amped up all of that and then added to it, but it's essentially what I started with. The vocals are not. I definitely went and did those in studio, which I was excited about. But he was like, I loved his reaction, because he's like, oh, when someone says demo, I often just think like off your iPhone. And I was really happy that it was like a full realized kind of song. He's like, that makes it way easier to work with too. So that's probably contributed to a lot of those reasons of it being more affordable, which is really exciting to almost like co-produce it in a sense.
And to even have that skill set as an artist to be able to create the sound that you want and share.
Yeah. Makes it a lot easier going into a producer to be like, this is the vision. And a lot of times, I mean, I've gone in with just a piano track and we build off of that. It becomes a huge thing. This one was pretty realized, and then it was just adding, like he added horns. The bass was totally different, which I love. And yeah, just the different elements, little guitar parts and stuff. He and I kind of went back and forth on, and he had a lot of great ideas to add to it. But the structure was very much there, and it was just building on that. So that's super fun. And yeah, I think as someone who's maybe an artist who's wanting to do more of that, you just have to do it. Just do it and do it and do it until you get better. And like there's tons of resources like on YouTube and everything. That's what I am currently still doing. Like I'm trying to teach myself more as I go. And I mean, it'd be great to work with more producers, but I feel like that's a costly endeavor. So the beauty of the internet, you can learn everything.
We can learn everything on the internet.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's so many free resources out there.
Yeah. No, I really want to get better at it. I do. Mm-hmm. I want to be like a producer one day. I think, because what did I just read a statistic that said it was only like 2 or 3, maybe it was 5% of all producers in the music industry are male, or like, sorry, are female. So there's like almost nobody. And I'm like, I could be that. I could do that if I really get good. So absolutely. That would be fun.
Yeah. Like be it right now. You are it. You don't have to be, you know, a Grammy award winning producer to be a producer, right?
That's true. There's a few things I feel like I need to finesse.
That title on your roster of things that you do, and go be it.
True. That's true. I love this. Thank you for the encouragement.
Absolutely. I always find that's the best way to become something, is just to, not wait till you're great at something, but just start and call yourself that, be that, own that title. And then all of a sudden things just come to you.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I like that. That's a good train of thought.
Totally. Go for that and see what happens. What would you say is the hardest thing about being a musician?
Self-discipline, motivation. I think I'm a Capricorn, so it comes pretty strong to me that like I'm very driven, and that's one of my innate features as a human is I do like to do things myself, and I like to be my own boss. So my life as a self-employed musician and instructor is what I prefer, but it also comes with that challenge. I think that's the hard part is like you've got to be pretty disciplined in your own craft, whether that's into practice or to learn or to grow. Like there's so much to do. If you're going to be a musician, you're not just one thing. You're probably 30 to 50 things. As I have learned more in the last year than any of my life. And so I think to like have the motivation to pull from all of those titles and to be all those things it's challenging sometimes. Sometimes you get in a funk and it's really hard to pull yourself up and be like, do your work, sit there, do the stuff. So that's what I struggle with anyway. It's not that I don't want to do it all, and I do work, but you know, there are days that's just really hard when you're self-employed to get not out of the bed, but sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to go for a walk or I'm going to cook instead. I find ways to procrastinate very easily. So that's probably my greatest challenge.
I hear ya. So what are some tools you use to stay disciplined?
Yeah. So for me, it's like, I could show you 5 planners over here. I like writing things down. To me, I think you have to write it down if you want to see it come to life. And I think that's a really good piece of advice I've received is just, writing out your goals, someone just said to me who I was talking to, I should work backwards. So say what do I want in 5 years? And then how do I work backwards from that? And then write out how I'm going to do that, like those goals in smaller chunks, which I think is really good advice. I get terrified. I get like scared when I look into the future. So I don't do it a lot, but I was like, that's a good piece of advice. And I think I should utilize that. But I do have like tons of planners and use those a lot. And then for me, it's just, I always like to think of small increments. So if I make a plan to do 5 minutes of, practice of piano, like scales or something, or 10 minutes of vocal warm up, or I'm trying to learn guitar, bad at it. So I'm like, I'll only do 10 minutes because I get very frustrated how bad I am. But I'm like, if I do 10 minutes consistently in a year, I'll be way better. So that's my thought. Small chunks, like trying to do little things every day rather than get overwhelmed at the entire picture. Easier said than done sometimes, but.
No, that's a good mindset to have. I like that. So then you prevent yourself from getting frustrated and not wanting to do it tomorrow.
Exactly.
When you're not doing music, what are you
doing? Lots of stuff. I mean, post-pandemic or current pandemic.
Let's go current. This current. Is life now. So
yeah, like in the summer, I was doing quite a few, like I said, outdoor shows, which was great, and I'm super grateful for having had that experience. And I did distantly see people, which was nice. Now I walk my dogs. That's like for my sanity as I go into winter, which I find challenging as well. I have to get outside. So during the day, I try to get in the sun and I walk my dogs. Today was beautiful. So just long time outside if I can be. And I try to work out. I try to be healthy, in all those ways. I do yoga. So all of those activities. I'm journaling quite a bit. I'm doing a course right now on manifestation. Sounds really woo-woo, but I'm very excited about it. Yeah. So I'm and then I'm trying to spend time, like I said, I'm trying to spend time to get better now that I have extra time or I'm not out as social, trying to get better at piano, trying to get better voice. I'm researching more about like producing and mixing and things like that, and trying to spend time on that end of things. And I haven't been super creative lately writing. I go through spurts where sometimes I'm writing a ton and then sometimes I'm just not. And right now I'm not, but I did write it. But I forced myself the other day to write an idea of a song because I was like, maybe if you just force yourself to do it, you'll make something. And I did. Will I use it? I don't know, but I'm trying to just, someone said, or I read somewhere that creativity is not waves of inspiration. It's a practice. Like you have to like kind of make yourself be creative. And so I'm like, okay, I'll try.
It is a practice, and it's not easy all the time to take, even 10 minutes a day to journal or, use that creative mind or just play, finding that 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a habit we need to form, I think, for sure.
100%. Yeah.
For sure. So
I try to talk to friends. Sorry, that's my other thing. I need to talk. So if I can't do it in person, which seems harder, I will Zoom. I've been Zooming everybody.
That's
everybody.
Good. I love Zoom. Zoom
yeah.
It's just so great. So
great. Like this is great.
I know. It's so good just to be able to connect and communicate and in a way that we're, being safe and physically apart. I mean, I just spend my days in front of this lovely computer screen.
Yeah.
And it works. It gives me that opportunity to connect, like that piece that we're lacking in life right now, I think is it's grateful for the technology.
Yeah. And you're connecting with so many people, like in so many different places, which is very cool. That's the advantage, I think, right? We wouldn't be probably talking to people in other provinces or countries if it weren't for this technology. So as bad as it can be, it can also be very, very positive. Just don't sit on your phone scrolling social media for a day if you can.
Can you show me the symbol, like how you would just demonstrate with your hands about reading? Like if you were to say, oh, I was reading something, and if you were to act it out, what would that look like?
I was reading.
Oh, interesting.
That looks like I'm scrolling, but or maybe I was reading. I don't know.
Today I was
Why?
I was telling Darren I was reading something. I was like, oh, I was reading. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, that's become our new way of reading, like scrolling through things. I was like,
oh my gosh. Yeah, I went left to right, reading the book. Although it starts looking like I'm swiping on Tinder, which I've done a couple times.
I was gonna say, have you ever been on Tinder?
Yeah. I'm using Bumble more right now than Tinder. I go in phases where I'm like, I go and I look and I swipe, and I've talked to a couple people, and then I'm like, this is pointless. I'm throwing it away because I don't know if the quality is not what I'm getting, or if I just have bad luck with this whole online dating thing, but I don't always get the cream of the crop, it seems like. Right. And then on top of it, I'm just like, what is the point? Can I even meet anyone? Can I ever make out again? it's been so long
right now. Anybody that wants to meet Kayla, take a good look. You can find her on Zoom and all social media platforms.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting time. I mean, I kind of succumbed that in 2020 I wasn't going to be dating anybody, and then it happened. So it really didn't happen. There was no dating in this, and I feel like that's okay. Having a year off is fine. In my mind, I think it's going to be 2021. I'm like, I think that'll be a good time.
Right. Well, maybe
for a lot of things.
Video, and they'll
it's a time capsule. We'll see.
We've got a new service here on the Artist Behind the Music. I love that. So funny. Speaking of other funny things, you also have another project called The Dirty Show. You want to tell us about that?
That's what I was telling you before we started that I was going to be potentially in Calgary doing a show on Sunday, which it's not panning out, but that was with The Dirty Show. It was like a variety show, and Dirty Show is a musical comedy. So we've been described as female Tenacious D. I don't say that, but I will take it. I will take it.
Yeah, I would say that.
But it's very dirty, as is in the title. And it's just songs about the body and life and human relationships, and usually pretty relatable topics in a very bold way
would sum that up well. It is very funny. I highly recommend you guys check it out. Do you guys have videos online?
We do. They're fun. Yeah. Dirty Show.
Go check out the videos.
2 R's, or you won't find it. I don't know what you'll find.
I'll put a link up for you.
Oh boy.
So fun. And then you have your own solo project, which is, doing so great. And I just love your voice, and I love how you play, and I'm excited to hear. So if you're ready to serenade me and the rest of us watching.
Let's do it. I'm going to start with a Christmas song. This song, as I was telling you, you won't know it because it's a very underrated / not even sure if it was ever released officially, Beach Boys Christmas song, because I'm obsessed with Beach Boys. And I have done so many Christmas songs being a music teacher, as you may know, that it comes with some distaste for some Christmas songs. So when I get asked, I'm gonna play things that are not familiar.
Perfect.
This is called, I think this is called Morning Christmas. Holy, holy, halo going, candle burning, Christmas evening. Outside children love to sing a Christmas song. Holy, holy, halo rolling, candle burning, Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's a really pretty song. Yeah.
It is a really pretty song.
I love it. The Beach Boys, they're so underrated. Songs that are not about just cars and surfing. There's like good gems in there. This was written by the drummer, Dennis Wilson, who is like the most crazy songwriter actually, that he released some solo albums later on before he died. He died young, and he had these beautiful songs that are so unappreciated, I think, especially in the greater. But if you're ever interested, look up Dennis Wilson, look up Beach Boys past maybe 1966. There's some gems.
There's some gems. You're a huge Beach Boys fan.
Disturbing, obsessed. Yeah.
I like that though. And you covered quite a few of their songs on your YouTube page too, right?
Yeah. God, that was like my early recording days where I was like, I'm just gonna learn Beach Boys songs to record because I love the harmonies so much that like usually they have like layers of vocals, 4 to 6 voices, and I just love it. That's probably one of my favorite things is the human voice and harmonies. So when I didn't have a barbershop quartet with me, and I was like, oh my gosh, recording, I can just do it myself and be my own choir essentially. And the Beach Boys were just that big influence for me. So I would recreate all these very underrated Beach Boy songs, and that became a strange following on YouTube. I look at my stats on YouTube, and a lot of it is like 60 plus men from America, because that's who's listening to the Beach Boys, like hardcore. And then I would get like boxes of stuff sent to me of things that they didn't want their kids to like throw away when they passed. So I have so many Beach Boys boxes of like signed things of theirs, posters, CDs, books, you name it, records. I've got it. And my parents probably hate it because there's bins and bins. I'm gonna have to go through it one day because I can't keep it all, but it is very cool. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, so a strange following on the Beach Boys, but it's great. I mean, there's people that appreciate it, they just don't happen to be my age typically.
Absolutely, and that's fine. Music is music, right? It's a universal, beautiful, ageless connector.
It is, and you never know who might stumble upon it, you know, and enjoy it. I know that the Big Bang Theory featured a very kind of obscure Beach Boys song, because I could see that in, again, my metrics on YouTube, everyone being like, I'm here because of Big Bang. And it's a cover I did, and it's like one of the bigger, you know, numbers I have on there because of that show. So I'm like, hey, that's cool. That means new people and younger people potentially are finding it and enjoying it. And they should, because it's great. To
it's
me,
timeless.
The Beatles, I know, fight me, but
That's so fun. I like it. I like how we all are inspired by different things, and that's what makes us all so unique in this world, which is perfect. What's your favorite part about being a musician?
The shows. I love live music. I mean, performing is the highest high I've ever got. I think it's just nothing compares to that. The high of being on stage, and it's probably the most in the moment and the most present I ever am, where you're not thinking about this and that typically, and the other thing, you're very much there, which is like a gem, I think, to experience in life. It's the same thing with recording and songwriting. Sometimes I'm so in the zone, I'm not, you know, overthinking anything else. I think that's what I love about music, is it just brings me into a place of, I don't know, elation, of otherworldly feelings. Even just listening to new music, when I find a song, I'm sure you know this feeling, when you find the song that you just love and you're just instantly obsessed with it, that feeling, the rush you get when you're like a new song, you're like, it feels like being in love to me. And that's kind of what music is. A lot of times I get feelings like I'm in love. Even, you know, I literally have a song about that where I say this is my longest relationship is with music, because it is, and I probably appreciate it more than any man, to be honest, than I ever will.
At least you know. At least you know.
Yeah. It gives me that thing that really nothing else does. I don't know how to describe it other than that. Just that innate depth of knowing and loving and feeling. Yeah.
That's very nice. All right. Well, let's bring that love back and hear you play another song.
Sure. I'm on the fence, Crystal.
Go with the gut. I always say, your gut knows.
All right, then I will go with my gut. I'm not going to play my new single.
And that's okay, because y'all can watch the video.
There you go. And then it's on all the things, on the Spotify's. I think that's a better version anyway. It's so produced beautifully. I have not yet found my live version of it. That's something I'm going to work on. I'm excited to do it with my band. But this is a very new song of mine that I wrote in the same time frame. I wrote 2 songs, really. That's it, over the course of pandemic time. And this was the other one. And it's kind of why I want to play it, because it's the mood I'm in, is loving life in my own self. I don't know. This song is kind of like my feel good song about my life, which I don't always feel, but it's nice when I do. And this was one of those days I woke up and everything just felt really good. So why not sing about that?
Let's hear it.
It happened overnight. My mind unlocked and everything was going right. soul of me. Morning comes and the sweet like honey. Baby, this is temporary. But evening comes and my dreams are sunny.
I love that. I love listening to you play. It just takes me to this really relaxed, happy place.
Thank you. Yeah, these were the slow, pretty songs. My go-to is slow, pretty.
I like it though.
I love
It's perfect. Your voice is just like angelic, especially when it goes up.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your gift with us all. It's beautiful.
Thank you for doing this. This is such an awesome thing. Awesome project you've got going on.
Thank you. It's so much fun, and I love getting to have conversations like this one and just meet all sorts of amazing artists from all over the world. It's been so much fun putting these together, and I can't wait to keep going and do more.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's been so great having you. I love chatting with you as always and could chat with you all day. But the last question I always like to ask people is, if you had one message to share with the world, what would that be?
That's a loaded question. I guess multiple thoughts come to mind. Take care of yourself, whatever that means to you. I think mental health needs to be taken care of for everybody, no matter what level it is. So taking care of yourself, doing things that are good for you, doing things that make you feel good, so important. 2, listen to music. Always listen to music. I don't know, there's people out there that don't, but I think if you do, you'll feel something and you'll feel good. And I don't know, be kind to people, be kind to each other, and be kind to yourself. That's another one. Kind of goes with the first one, but treat yourself kindly.
So important. All good.
Yeah.
Treat yourself kindly by listening to music.
That works. Yeah. Full circle.
There we go. Beautiful. Well, Kayla, thanks so much for joining me. I can't wait to see what you come up with next, and we'll chat with you soon.
Crystal, you too. I'm so excited for you.